Patriots at Buffalo Bills.
Speaking of Patriots.
When you talk about races for the number 1 overall pick, Patriots are currently picking 3rd. So they're behind the Giants and the Raiders. Their remaining schedule is Bills, Chargers, Bills.
Ouch.
That sucks.
I mean, doesn't it? Because doesn't that just mean you're justified in losing the
No, obviously, yeah. If you want the better draft pick, this is great for you. But their strength of schedule is brutal.
No one's going to judge you for losing to the Bills twice in 3 weeks.
So this one is in Buffalo. This one's going to be in Buffalo. The plus factor here could just be that the Bills are wearing the all red uniforms, which are sick. But I don't have that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Now, yeah.
What were you going to pick the Patriots? Were you going to lean the Patriots in this one?
Yep, the uniform really swayed me. So
my matchup that matters, if the Patriots are even going to have a chance in this one or keep it close, it's the lack of explosive that they have had to this point in the season.
No, and this is exactly what I have. All right, continue.
I mean, it has to be, right? Because
I know.
They don't. We could talk about the offensive line. We talked about the offensive line for forever. We know that they're bad. We could talk about the run game and say like, oh, okay, well, they need to stay balanced. They do. But the fact of the matter is, if the only way they don't get boat raced on the scoreboard is one, the defense has got to play unreal against Buffalo, which not many defenses have been able to do. So I guess that could have been a matchup that matters, perhaps. But the other one, the one that you have control over, and the reason why we both picked it is because their offense has to be more explosive.
Yes.
When you look at explosives from Drake Maye since week 8, so again, second half of the season, only 9 completions of 15 or more yards. That is second lowest in the NFL. The only one who has less is Mac Jones, and Mac Jones hasn't even been starting for that whole time. And Mac Jones is like right there. I think Mac Jones is like 8. So for all intents and purposes, Drake Maye has the least amount of explosive passes in the NFL since week 8. And when you look at last week in particular, the second half was a much different story for this team. But the first half, he was 10 for 10. Love that. Great. 100% completion percentage. We love that. Negative 0.5 average depth of target. 71 passing yards. Negative 0.7% air yards. And then in the second half, it was like 12.2 average depth of target. So it was way too nice. You gotta take shots at the beginning of the game.
I think they flashed that graphic of his average depth of target like at halftime of that game, if I remember correctly.
Because it was an abomination.
I don't know.
Anyways, that's my thoughts. Is that if the Patriots offense is not a little bit more explosive, there's no chance in this one.
All right, I have other notes on the other side of this.
Okay.
Which is literally the inverse of this, which is that the New England Patriots defense actually has been pretty good at limiting explosives. They've allowed a 29.2% completion rate on deep pass attempts of 20 or more yards, which is the 7th lowest in the NFL. And they're one of only 7 teams to allow 2 touchdowns or fewer on deep passes. That is, I think, almost solely because Christian Gonzalez is playing so incredibly well. He's been the nearest defender on more than 10 deep attempts and allowed just 1 completion or fewer. And he's the only player in the NFL to be able to say something like that. And he's forced a 66.7% tight window rate on those passes. So he's playing incredibly well. The entire unit then is better at limiting explosives. Now, they haven't played Josh Allen yet. Mm-hmm. So that's the difference here. And that goes into my plus factor, which is just Josh Allen creating because of something that a Lions coach told me after this last game, which was, if you're the Buffalo Bills, I feel like him speaking about them as the Bills, I feel like they almost hope that the original play called breaks down, because then it just allows Josh Allen to do Josh Allen things. And it's completely indefensible. You have no answer for that. It's an incredible thing. I mean, there were so many times watching that game. I had to rewatch it because I was at the Bucs-Chargers game during it, but I rewatching it. And I just outright was like, what? Oh. And like that was that's the coaching experience against Josh Allen too. It's not just me as a fan being like, oh my God. It's the coaches up in the booth being like, all right, the play that they called, we have an answer for it. But then you don't have an answer for Josh Allen just launching a 50-yard pass off platform while he's running out of bounds at like over 8 miles. Absolutely wild. So I thought I would share that was a direct quote from a Lions coach just being like, I feel like the Bills actually hope that the original play breaks down. That way,
Well,
Josh
that's
Allen can
yeah.
see.
I mean, yeah. I don't know about hope, but it is like to your point. There's every single time the Bills snap the ball and Josh Allen is holding on to so really just dropbacks. Every single time there's a drop back for the Buffalo Bills, there's two plays. There's one that you called, and then
Right.
yeah, there's the
There's
other one which
that Josh Allen
no
makes up.
no one knows
Right.
until it's going on. And
Josh Allen doesn't even know until
there
it's going on.
right, but there's nobody in the NFL that you'd rather be in that situation than Josh Allen. I mean, like obviously, like Patrick Mahomes could certainly be in that conversation, but this year, the way that Josh Allen is playing, you got to give him that nod and that respect. My plus factor here, I'll stick with the Bills' offensive player. I'll go with Ty Johnson, the running back,
Yeah.
because he was such a versatile weapon for them last week. 9 rushing yards, okay, that's not great on 2 carries. Who cares? 5 targets, 5 receptions, 114 yards. They're using him and these running backs in such a variety of different ways. Ray Davis, James Cook, obviously, but Ty Johnson and what he has been is just a versatile piece of this offense. I think it's going to be an important part of just how they move forward. And it might be there might be some quiet games here and there for Ty Johnson, but every now and then he's going to give you this like total X factor type of a performance. And so maybe it isn't this game, but I just really wanted to shout out what he was last week because again, of all the things that you got to worry about with the Buffalo Bills, you're not worried about Ty Johnson going 5 for 5 and over 100 yards against you, except that's what happens.
That's what happens. Yeah.
You just start mounting up all of the ways the Buffalo Bills can beat you.
That one play where Josh, like he got flushed out of the pocket, he starts scrambling. He's literally directing Ty Johnson. Like he's like, come over here, come over here, come as he's running and evading defenders, and then he like launches it. And I don't know if it was Khalil Shakir that was like right there, and he thought he was getting the ball, but then it just like inches past him right into Ty Johnson. So I was like, what even was that? What even was that?
Crazy.
Wild.
It's so much fun to watch Josh Allen this year. It really is.